Welcome back, everyone. Tina here. And in this tutorial today, I'm going to show you how you can leverage QR codes like this for tracking purposes inside the CRM. So maybe you're running live events, maybe you're running a restaurant and you're giving free desserts. For example, you're running a re-engagement campaign for existing customers and you know they haven't been to your restaurant in a while. You can send out an email saying, hey, we're giving away a free dessert. Would you like to come? And in order to track those visitors, you can implement those QR codes. The hostess can check in the client who comes and redeems those desserts by simply scanning the code, checking them in, and the system would then just simply track it. Another use case could be you're an advert company and you're selling adverts in a local guide. That's what I did, for example, back in the day in Bali. I created a local guide about restaurants, spas, hotels, so on and so forth, where people could actually go inside the business and redeem, for example, a free coffee, a free dessert, a free massage, so that the business has the opportunity to generate new leads, to generate new clients, really, and to introduce their business to a new clientele. So you can leverage these digital QR codes with any event you're running, really, where you sell digital tickets. So for this, you need 4 things: one form, one trigger link, one QR code, and 2 workflows, really. So kind of 5 things. So let me show you how you can set this up. So first things first, we want to create a form, a check-in form, right? So click on Sites on the left, Forms at the top, click on Builder, click Add New Form, select Start from Scratch. Then just give it a name. We are going to call it Claim Your Free Dessert. Then you're just going to add your elements: first name, last name, phone number, and email. So make sure it's got those details included. If you wanted to add different images and whatnot, you can just drag and drop them from over here. For now, we're just going to leave it as is. But one thing here, you want to make sure, if you click on Stars and Options at the top right, then you click on Options, Form Settings, and you really want to make sure that sticky contact is turned off, okay? You want to make sure it's turned off. That's very important because there's many different people coming in to claim their free dessert. It's not just one person. So what sticky contact is, you can hover over this little information icon here and it will tell you, it will autofill contact information previously entered, so you don't have to enter it twice. This is great when it's one person. It doesn't work for the purpose what we're doing here when there's multiple different people checking in, all right? So make sure this is turned off. Okay, so next up is we want to grab that URL. So click on Integrate at the top. Then you want to click on Copy Form Link right here and save that link in a notepad. Okay, click on that. Then just open up your notepad, paste the link there so that we can have it when we need it in a minute. Now let's close that for now. Hit Done. Hit Save top right corner as well. Make sure always saving. Now the next step would be to create a trigger link and to create a QR code, okay? So let's go back top left. Then you want to click on Marketing on the left, Trigger Links at the top, and on Links. Then you want to click Add Link. We're going to give it a name. Let's call it Claim Free Dessert. And here we would place the link. So now let's create that link so that the system can actually trick each individual that redeems that code. Now let's pull back the notepad. Here you can see something called query string parameters. So this data is needed for us to build that full trigger link so that this contact information can be pulled into the check-in form. Okay, so once somebody scans that QR code, the system will pull the data from that particular client. Okay, so this consists of contact ID. So you put the custom values, contact ID. It consists of the email, custom values, contact email, phone number, custom values, contact phone, raw, and full name, contact name, okay? So this is the data we've asked for in the form just now, okay? So what we want to do is we want to just add it behind our link, our form link, like this, to just make it one link, okay? And you just remove all the spaces and make it one link, okay? Now, that is the link we're going to put into the trigger box. Copy this link, go back to the trigger links and paste the link URL right here. Hit save. And here you can see the trigger link has been created, okay? So now that was the first bit complex part. Now the second part is to create that QR code and attach it to the tracking system. So let's do that. So to create the QR code, let's pull up the notepad. You can see here there's a really great service out there, api.qrserver.com, which is absolutely free, and they create QR codes. At the minute somebody signs up, an individual QR code gets created for that particular individual. So if 10 people sign up, 10 different QR codes get created, if that makes sense. So this is the URL, api.qrserver.com. Create a QR code is the command, right? And then that's just giving you the size, how big the QR code should be, the margin and all of that. And anything that you put behind here, data equals, that's where the client will get sent. So let me show you an example and type yahoo.com, for example. Okay, let's click that link and then it creates the QR code. Okay. But instead of yahoo.com, we want to type our trigger link right here. So if I scan this, it would take me to Yahoo. All right. Now, back to the notepad, but we don't want to put yahoo.com. We want to put our trigger link right here. So let's go ahead and create a workflow, which includes an email or an SMS if you wanted to, or a WhatsApp message that sends the QR code. Okay. So click on automation on the left, workflows at the top, create new workflow. And bear with me here for a minute, it will make sense. Click create new workflow, start from scratch. Let's rename that workflow to free dessert campaign. And here the trigger can be really anything. It can be you just adding a smart list to it. You already have an existing email list of your existing customers or just leads you generated on the internet. You can just add them to this workflow, or you can attach a Facebook lead campaign. Wherever the traffic comes from, that's where you would attach it from, okay? Then the next action would be to send an email. So click plus, type email, send email, for example, right? You can also send a WhatsApp message. We want to rename the action name to claim your free dessert email. You want to give it a subject line. Let's call it, can we buy you dessert? That's pretty cool. And right here under message, you want to just grab that trigger link URL so we can finish creating that QR code, okay? So just click into the message for now. We're going to add some content in a minute and then click on trigger links right here. You want to click on claim free dessert. That's the trigger link we've created under marketing trigger link a minute ago, okay? Click that and you have the URL. Copy that. Go to your notepad and add this link to the back of this URL, okay? So the thing about this link is you could have this link inside the email, which would mean if they click it, then they would get checked in. But that's kind of defeating the purpose because maybe they're not at the restaurant and they're clicking that link and they show up in the CRM as checked in, but they have never visited. So that's why we really want to have the QR code image inside of this message, okay? And also when the people come through the door, they will just be added on the top of the pipeline. So everyone who comes in gets added to, hey, new customer entered the restaurant, for example, or joined my event, right? They get added to the top of the pipeline so that the waitress knows who comes next in terms of receiving their food. Now back to our QR code link. Take it from your notepad, copy it, and you can see the trigger link here is a lot shorter than the one we created, right? But it is still sending the same data. It's just hiding the data we are sending. It will still send name, email, phone number, contact IDs. So those 4 elements are still inside of this trigger link. It's just shortened and it hides the elements, okay? So going back into the email messenger content box, click on add image. Then you see image URL. You paste that URL right here. You give it an alt text. Let's say QR code check-in. The width and the height is set to auto, so it will pick up the size, the 300 by 300, which you can see up here. So that's set to auto. If you wanted to change it, you can, but why if it's already perfect, kind of, right? We want to keep this blank and want to hit save. And here you can see the QR code is showing up inside that email field. And then we just want to add our copy, right? Let's say, hey, contact first name. How have you been? We get straight to the point. We miss you. You just add your copy. What is, how this works. It's really simple. Make a reservation that fits your schedule. When you arrive, show this QR code below to the host. They will scan your code and apply a free dessert to your tab. And that's the system, how it works, okay? The hostess just has to be trained on that. They just pull out their phone. They scan it with the QR code scanner or with the camera simply, and it will track the visitor. Now let's add the sign off as well. Hope to see you soon. Company name, and let's hit save action. Let's publish that workflow, hit save top right corner. So now let's go ahead and actually send a test email. Click test workflow, hit run test, and let's go into our inbox. You can see the email has already arrived. So we want to pull up our camera. We want to scan the code. You can see the link showing up here. The hostess would click on this particular link. Then the form will open up in a second. Ta-da! My full name shows up, my phone number shows up, and my email shows up, all right? Then the hostess would just check mark the little box. She would click the button, which we would need to change to check in, right? Hit that button. And the confirmation message shows up. In this case, thank you for taking the time to complete this quiz. This is why you should always check before you publish anything. So let's go back to sites, forms, select the form. Click on styles and options at the top. Click on submit. And here you can change the message, right? You can say the first name or the full name. So let's go back to workflows, grab first name, or actually Custom values, let's take full name. So let's cut this, go back to the form, say full name has checked in. Okay, so that's a confirmation message for the hostess then that this person just checked in. So hit save here, and that's the check-in process done. Here under button, you would want to change as well to check in, right? Hit save again. Okay. So now from here, you can trigger all sorts of different workflows. If you wanted to send another email marketing campaign, if you want to tag them, you should segment them anyway. You should always track who is doing what inside of your CRM or inside your business, right? Who bought what, who showed up for which event, and so on and so forth. Now, let me show you the last part, which is a workflow that's for us, for the restaurant, for the business owner. Okay. So we want to track as the business owner, as the restaurant, or as the cafe, that if somebody already has redeemed that free dessert, that they cannot get a second one. Okay. So let me show you how you can set this up. So let's get back into automations on the left, workflows at the top, click create workflow, start from scratch. We want to rename it to QR code free dessert campaign redemption. Okay. Now, as the trigger, we want to add our form. Hit new trigger, type form, form submitted, add filter. Form is claim your free dessert. Okay. I always like to name my workflow trigger names and actions according to the name of the form or action. So let's add that here. Claim your free dessert, hit save trigger. Now you have the trigger sorted, okay? So once somebody submits this form, the rest of this workflow will happen, meaning once the hostess checks in that client at the door to add the dessert to their tab for free, then this workflow will get triggered. Now we have to add a condition though, because you don't want this to be triggered if they come on the first time because they didn't do anything wrong, right? If they're just being cheeky and they want free desserts all the time. So that's the whole purpose of this workflow, for the system to detect that they came in multiple times or tried a second time. So here we want to filter via tag, for example. So in the previous workflow, you would have obviously needed to tag the people with, hey, this client redeemed the free dessert. So click the plus icon, type if else condition. So if they have already redeemed it, then do this. And if they haven't redeemed it, then do this. You know what I mean? So click if else. Under scenario, click the drop down menu and select has tag. Okay. We want to filter by, hey, does this lead have the tag attached to their name, redeemed dessert or not? Okay. Let's rename the branch to redeemed dessert. Then you want to rename your branch to already redeemed. Then you want to select tags include redeemed dessert. If you haven't created your tag just yet, make sure to do that under settings tags, or you just type it in here and then a new option pops up to create a tag right here. So let's delete that so I can show you. So if you type your tag and then this option here, add new tag, pops up, okay? Since we have it already created, we're just going to select redeemed dessert. And then the other branch, the non-branch, we're just going to name it not redeemed just yet. We're going to hit save action, and here our two branches show up. So every time somebody submits the form, or let's say the hostess basically checks in the client, they get run through this condition. Hey, has this QR code already been redeemed, or hasn't it already been redeemed? Okay. So now let's build out those two branches. We can send an email to the customer. Click the plus sign, type email, select email element, rename the action to your free dessert has already been claimed. Okay. Put that as a subject line, for example. And then type your text here. Hey, it looks like your dessert has already been claimed. That being said, we have many other options. Then you name the different options here. Come back soon, okay? Then you want to hit save action. And you also maybe want to send an internal notification to your staff or an SMS so that they will know that as well. So they will get notified when they check it in, when they check in the client through the form. The client comes, shows the QR code. The hostess scans the QR code. The QR code gets scanned, gets run through this automation, and then if the condition, right, if the QR code has been redeemed prior, she will get an SMS right there and then, and an internal notification. I would actually say do both, so that the backend to CRM can get notification if someone sits in the back office, maybe, then they're also being added to a different pipeline or something like that. So really the sky's the limit here. So your imagination is the limit, really. Let's just say we want to send a notification, send internal notification, let's say an SMS to an assigned user, right? You want to add your text. You also want to add custom values. You say contact, full name, free dessert already redeemed. Okay, so hit save action. And then that is the internal notification, which the hostess will receive right there and then when they try to check in to get that free dessert. So this is another opportunity for her to upsell as well, to, have another offer up her sleeve, or say, okay, just you're here already. Maybe we can offer you 50% off the next dessert or something like that. Okay. And if they haven't redeemed the dessert yet, we just want to make sure that we track them now. Click plus, type tag, add tag. Then we want to attach the redeemed dessert tag to their contact. Rename the action as well. Redeemed dessert, hit save action. Okay. And then we also want to send them an email. Hey, thank you for coming. So click the plus sign, type another email, rename the action step to thanks for claiming it. Give it a nice subject line. And here you can add your content. Hey, Tina, thanks for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed the dessert. By the way, here are some of our upcoming seasonal specials. So you can then remarket your services, restaurants, products, anything to these people, because now they've been a customer. And if you did a good job, you delivered, and they enjoyed your services, they will most likely to come back. So hit save action. Make sure to publish in top right corner and hit save as well. And that's it already. This is how you set up QR tracking campaigns inside the CRM. I hope you liked this tutorial. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.